Warning: this creepypasta is made entirely from imagination and not based on any true stories. It even contains themes that are not suitable for minors, such as murder, strong language, disturbing images, references to horror-themed scenes from films, shows, and games, and graphic violence. If either you are too young to watch this, sensitive, or easily anxious, please click away from this video and watch something else. Viewer discretion is advised. I told you all about a deleted version of the opening of Monsters Inc., but get ready for something more messed up because it stays in my head everywhere I go. I doubt it will. It was the week after the Disney Plus series Monsters at Work, a spin-off series of Monsters Inc., ended its first season. I was walking around listening to music on my phone. As I continued walking around, I found a bump hidden under the sand. I dropped down to examine it. As I dug further into it, it was a box. I took the box to my house to open it up. As I opened up the box, it turned out to be a Monsters Inc. DVD about an internship recreation of the opening scene. The cover consisted of the animatronic boy lying in bed with his eyes open, while Mr. Bile was watching behind him. The DVD's release date was Halloween of 2002. I worried about watching the DVD, but I put on a brave face to do so. I put the disc in my portable DVD player to start watching it. It took me to the menu. The menu depicted of a couple of the characters from the movie. The soundtrack was even a portion of the main title theme song. The animation listed was Bile's partner, September 5th, 2002. I thought that title was weird, but I shrugged it off and just started watching it. Before the animation played, there was a warning. This internship animation is not for anybody with sensitivity issues. Also, please beware of any disturbing moments here and there. Viewer discretion is advised. Not again, I said under my breath. The scene played. It began with the actual scene from the final film, but when the shadow flew over the animatronic boy, ominous music played, scarier than the normal soundtrack, and there was a faint woman's scream coming from under the bed as it panned down to there. Just then, familiar, low-pitched evil laughter can be heard as a pair of red scary eyes peered through the bed. Just then, it cut to a shot of the animatronic boy sleeping. Mr. Bile then emerged from behind him, but more messed up than the first deleted draft. He had devil horns and many satanic rituals over his body. The boy opened up his eyes, and Bile bared his claws to scare him. Bile then roared demonically, causing the boy to turn around and let out a blood-curdling scream. "Big ol' Bile has become very terrifying," said Bile. The boy attempted to run out of his bed, but he accidentally stepped on his soccer ball. It bounced onto a wall, and Rico headed back to him and hit him in the face, causing him to slip on his skateboard, sending him flying into the air before finally landing onto a pile of jacks. He screamed again, but more piercing and more blood-curdling. That scream was so loud it sounded like someone was in front of me bellowing. I had to cover my ears. The scream lasted for about the same time that animatronic's scream went for in the original film. I uncovered my ears once the scream was over. But when I was about to watch the rest of the video, I noticed blood on my hands, and I felt thick liquid running out of my ears. "Not again," I said. The scream made my ears bleed again. I managed to get a couple of photos of the blood on my hands and ears for evidence. But back to the scene. Bile grabbed out a chainsaw to kill the child with, and the latter ran to his bedroom door. However, a pair of iron bolts blasted through the door, sending the boy falling backwards. Then, a purple figure emerged from the hole through the door. It was Zurg from Toy Story 2. Zurg? I asked myself. What is he doing in this movie? The first time somebody aided Bile was Tex, the THX robot.
"Hello, my child,"
Zurg spoke. Who are you?" the boy nervously stuttered.
"My name is Emperor Zurg. Bile has hired me to destroy you,"
Zurg replied.
"Yup, Big Billy Bile is gonna get ya, little boy. Say hello to my good old Friend Zerg!
Bile shouted as his voice faded to a demonic effect. Bile started up his chainsaw and Zerg activated his iron blaster to execute the boy. The boy ran out of his room, screaming, and ran down the hallway. Bile and Zerg ran down the hallway, chasing him as the former laughed like crazy, while the latter abused multiple iron bolts everywhere to try and stun the boy. The boy then entered a room with pink painted walls. He then ran to a girl who was still asleep in a bed to wake her up. Wake up, pleaded the boy. The girl woke up. What is it, Nick? Said the girl. She had blonde hair, a pink nightshirt, similar to that of Boo's, and blue eyes. I was surprised there. The animatronic boy's name was Nick. I never knew he would have a name. There's a monster in my room. Not only that, there's a purple robot or whatever species it is. They're trying to kill me, Nick said. The girl gasped. What? She said. That's horrible.
Oh, little boy, we're coming,
Bile's voice said, echoing through the house. The girl then held onto Nick in fear, and then a chainsaw poked through the girl's bedroom door, scaring the two kids. Demonic laughter can be heard as that happened. Just then, Mr. Bile poked his head through the hole he had made and said,
Here's Billy!
Nick and the girl screamed in terror.
Run, Cassie!
Nick said, and the girl's name was revealed to be Cassie. That name combination sounded very familiar. The two children then ran out through the doorway to evade Zerg and Bile, though Nick accidentally bumped into Bile's spiky tail, causing his leg to bleed. Nick and Cassie ran into the living room to hide. Nick hid in the corner of a couch, and Cassie, on the other hand, hid under a table that was covered by a red cloth. Zerg and Mr. Bile then looked through the living room to find the two children.
Come out, my children. We're going to end your lives slowly and painless,
Zerg said.
Where are you, little boy and little girl?
Cooed Mr. Bile.
We're not going to kill you. We'll just hurt you badly.
Zerg and Mr. Bile then split up to find their victims. Zerg found Nick, and Bile found Cassie. The two children then invaded the two killers again, and ran around the house. Bile tried to attack the kids with his chainsaw, but the kids kept avoiding and instead, he shredded every obstacle in his way. Cassie and Nick ran to their front house's door. However, Mr. Bile and Zerg pounced onto them as soon as they got outside. Bile's claws grinded into Cassie, causing her to bleed. Bile laughed evilly as he grinned stupidly at Cassie, holding up his chainsaw, ready to kill her. Zerg pointed his iron blaster at Nick, charging up his power.
Hasta la vista, little girl!
Bile mocked.
Don't worry, my son. This will only hurt for a little bit,
Zerg said. Nick panicked. No, please don't kill me. Don't do this. No, we're only kids. No! Zerg and Mr. Bile got ready to kill their victims. Zerg chopped up his iron blaster power and Bile raised his chainsaw into the air. As Zerg was about to shoot Nick and Bile was about to cut Cassie, it cut to a scene in the final film. It cut to the animatronic boy screaming from Bile's point of view. Bile screamed back and stepped on a soccer ball, slipped on a skateboard, causing him to land on Jax, and later screaming like a girl and running in circles. The internship animation ended at the moment the boy was revealed to be just a robot. I was dazed by that. What was that? I asked myself. That was more messed up than the deleted version I saw last year. I pulled the disc out of my DVD player and destroyed it. I even buried it with the Woody's Nightmare Internship Animations DVD from Toy Story 2. I didn't sleep for 4 nights. What I saw was just too much for me to handle. Please just stay away from Adam Kennington's stupid horror animations.